Yo, Cover One crew, welcome back to the show. Hope everybody is good, man. Yes, I realize it looks like the Bills store threw up on me today, but it's okay because it is Victory Friday for us Bills Mafia supporters. We will party all day long, but you're not here to talk about the Bills. We're talking Boomer Bust week number 8 for your fantasy football team. We are getting into crunch time, man. As those fantasy playoffs do get closer and closer, we need to stack some dubs, man. And I'm telling y'all, keep with me. I will get you there. But let's talk about these running backs. Josh Jacobs, first one on my board. 43% consistency on the boom. 81.2 points so far this season. And I mean, while the Raiders, they have seen struggle so far this season, I told y'all it was going to take Jacobs at least 3 to 4 contests to get back on track. Booming 3 of the last 4 contests. Josh is back on track and again should uplift your fantasy football club this week because Jimmy G is back to a limited practice on Thursday with the back injury. Hopefully he finds his way to the field because it is imperative that we get Jimmy G on the field for this offense, including Devontae Adams and a Josh Jacobs, which is good news for this run game, so let's hope he is on the field. I'm banking on the fact that Jimmy G will play, so that will count as a boom time for a Josh Jacobs yet again for the against these Detroit Lions, I should say. Aaron Jones, next one on my list, 33.3% boom consistency rate. Not good. One of the bigger disappointments so far this season. Aaron, I mean, what are you doing, man? He hasn't fit the bill, and he's dealt with injury all season long. Absolutely crippling our fantasy teams. Started week 1 on fire. I mean, 25 plus points in week 1, has not even sniffed even close to that since. It is a big problem. Still dealing with that hammy injury. Clearly not 100%. Still dealing with limited practice time. It is not a good situation facing the Vikings stout run defense this week. I mean, what do we say? If you got him, you got to play him. I understand, but I'm calling another bust for Aaron Jones. It is not good right now for Aaron Jones whatsoever. I do not like it. Hopefully, he can find his way to better point productivity as we move forward. DeAndre Swift, next one on my board. He's been a revelation. 71.4 on the boom consistency. Very good numbers, 93.2. I mean, will the real Swift please stand up? We ain't talking no Taylor Swift. We're talking DeAndre Swift, and he's continuing to dominate this season. I mean, Swift is the running back 8 right now in half PPR and showing no signs of slowing down, having a bust game this past week for the first time since week 1. Okay, it was due. I get it. You got to play the number cards, and you got to understand the ups and downs that do come with it. DeAndre will come back this week in a very big way, facing the Commies in a big divisional game. I'm calling a rebound boom game for a DeAndre Swift. Enjoy the points this week because they should come as the Eagles get back to feeding Swift on the regular. B. John Robinson, oh my goodness. What are we doing? B. John last week was a killer, 71.4% on the boom for this rookie. He's been doing very well, almost 90 points, very close half PPR leagues. Head coach Arthur Smith, he doesn't give a damn about your fantasy football team, as he said in his presser. But it was weird. B. John was dressed and basically sat on the sidelines the entire last week's contest with some illness that was not specified pre-game, which absolutely screwed us all over in fantasy football. Coming back this week versus the Titans, who are off the bye, B. John should see a heaping of volume. I have no doubt in my mind. This rookie has been impressive so far, basically a human highlight reel every single week, but still only one top-end boom game of over 20 points. We got to feed B. John because that's why we drafted him so high. We're talking B. John boom, just like his D. John mustard. It's on the docket, man. Fire up B. John. He should have a very good day. Wide receiver time, T. Higgins. 20% on the boom consistency, only 33 points. Not good, no bueno. Such a colossal bust so far this season. The Bengals started super slow out the gates, only to lose Higgins to that rib injury. Back on the field 2 weeks ago, now coming off the bye. I mean, we're going to have to, it's going to have to be a statement game for the Cincinnati Bengals versus the 49ers. You got to say, who also are going to be looking for blood to rebound after 2 losses, those 49ers. San Fran does give up a ton in the pass game, and we need T this week in a very big way. First boom game for Higgins coming since week 2. I'm stamping it, man. Boom for T. Higgins this week. DeAndre Hopkins, 33% on the boom rate as well. Not good. 51 points so far. The Titans coming off the bye week and looking to sell everybody before the trade deadline. D-Hop signed this offseason. Y'all know this. to get his bag. I don't see any reason why he would have thought this was going to be good for his career statistically. I mean, the Titans will be likely rolling with Will Levis. That's the word out the gates right now, is no Tannehill, still dealing with injury, which could bring positivity and deep shots to a D-Hop and then bring some negativities with potential turnovers and missed passes. Only 2 boom games so far for D-Hop this season. It's been a massive struggle. I'm calling a bust off the bye with a rookie QB versus an Atlanta Falcons defense that does play some good pass defense. Devontae Smith, 42.8% on the boom, 66 points. He has definitely cooled down. The big question is, what is going on with Smitty, man? Bust in the last 3 games, dropping passes like a madman, dealing with that ankle injury. He's playing, but clearly he's not 100%, man. The focus has turned around to grown-ass man feeding A.J. Brown on the regular, leaving Smitty to fight for scraps between him and Goddard. It is not a good situation. The Eagles absolutely, the Eagles can hit you in many different directions, and this week feels like a Devontae resurgence in some degree. I'm calling boom time for Smitty. Let's get back to the goods because, it's been too long already without a boom game. 3 games in a row is not good. We got to get Smitty back in the good graces, man. Amari Cooper, 50% boom consistency rate, which is actually impressive given the fact that it has been Deshaun Watson and P.J. Walker on a rotational basis due to the fact that Watson is dealing with injury. And while I was favorable on Cooper as we got into the offseason, I really did believe it was good. My preaching of him has definitely fallen off a cliff. I will no longer preach the good graces of an Amari Cooper until we see Watson back on the field. With no Watson, with PJ playing, like I'm saying, that he's taking the game manager role. Amari's going to have to do it all himself when it comes to fantasy football points to gain you the wins. It's just not good, man. 50% of booms in his last 4 weeks as well, and then a bye week in the middle. It's not good. Going up against the Seahawks, and the Spoon, rookie Witherspoon, should lock him up with PJ Walker throwing the ball. I'm calling another bust for an Amari Cooper. It does not look good right now. Tight end Dalton Schultz, 50% on the boom rate. And okay, it's good. I expected this to happen. I thought it was going to happen earlier. Coming off the bye week, these Texans right now, CJ Stroud still balling out before they went on the bye, and they should pick up where they left off, man. Dalton Schultz, has boomed the last 3 games he's played. So realistically, a bust should happen this week. We're playing the numbers, right? Analytical cards, and it's just a bust should come this week, especially with Tank Dell coming back from his concussion. But we could see, sprinkles to Tank Dell, and then they could utilize Dalton Schultz once again in this offense as Tank Dell, does get his feet back on track. Good matchup for TD upside versus Carolina Panthers, but I think they found something here with Dalton Schultz, so I'm calling a boom once again for this tight end who we know is PPR upside all day long. Evan Ingram, 43% on the boom rate, 55 points. And Ingram has busted these last 3 weeks, but it's been very close. He's given you a very safe floor right now, and the Jags offense hasn't looked the part overall of being the world beaters like we thought they would. Still winning games, that's all that matters, for the Jags at this point. And Ingram's floor is extremely safe. But the booms have not come to the top end level that we're looking for. Tough test once again versus the Pittsburgh Steelers this week. I'm calling a bust again for an Evan Ingram. Darren Waller, 43% on the boom rate, 61 points. He is in the top 5 of tight ends in half PPR. Basically, you got to roll over into the end zone 4 times, and you will be a top 10 fantasy tight end. No kidding, man. So, have we figured out the issue for these Giants not playing Tyrod Taylor? Is that the issue? We got to play Tyrod. I think that's the key, man. Waller found new life with Tyrod these past several weeks, and again, he's boomed 2 of the last 3 contests with a topper of 19.3. It is good news for a Darren Waller. This is what we expected from him when we drafted him so high, facing the Jets, who will lock down everything else and likely leave a Waller open potentially, or we could see Sauce, trailing over to a Waller side, which is something that does fear me as well. We could see more targets to Waller this week. The rumor is that the Giants are likely trending to play a Tyrod once again over a Daniel Jones. Daniel Pennies, good matchup for tight ends. I'm calling a boom for a Darren Waller once again because of target share and volume coming his way. Last one I got, Cole Kmet, 28.6% on the boom rate, but it's been a rough year for the Chicago Bears. What can we say, man? But Kmet still rests as a top 10 fantasy quarterback. He is tight end 9 in half PPR leagues right now. I told y'all, man, it doesn't take a lot, but it is what we're dealing with tight ends. No Fields with Taylor Bajan. T-Bag is in the building as a quarterback, and we'll see if he can replicate last week's showing that he did perform admirably well. Kmet is coming off 2 bust games, and I don't really see him breaking shaking out this week either. You got to call a bust for Cole Kmet once again as the Bears try to figure out their offense with a teabag behind center. He's looking pretty good. Bagent is the quarterback, of course, but nevertheless, as always, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump in those comments, give me your thoughts. What are y'all thinking on the booms? You guys need any start-sit advice? I got you on Saturday with start-sit lineup advice, so definitely stay tuned for that, but we'll see you next time. I am out.